Every thought you think, every word you speak, is quietly planting seeds in the deepest part of your mind. This hidden part of you, your subconscious, is always listening. It doesn't judge, it doesn't argue, it simply accepts. And the truth is, it shapes your habits, your confidence, even the path of your life. Most people live unaware of this silent force, letting old fears and doubts run the show. But once you discover how to speak directly to it, you unlock a level of control that feels almost magical. Think about it. The greatest achievers in history, from inventors to athletes, all learned to guide this inner power. They trained their minds to believe in success long before the results appeared. That's the secret difference between those who keep struggling and those who rise. In this video, you'll learn how easy it is to send clear commands to your subconscious so it starts working for you instead of against you. Imagine programming your inner world in a way that makes your outer world follow. The more you practice, the faster your subconscious begins to obey, and that's when true transformation begins. Your subconscious mind is always listening to you, and it will always obey the orders you give it, but you must learn to speak to it in the right way, because if you speak to it the wrong way, it will give you the wrong results, and you will wonder why your life is not working out the way you want it to work out. The subconscious mind does not argue with you, and it does not talk back to you, and it does not question whether what you are saying is true or false. It simply accepts what you tell it, and then it goes to work to make it real in your life. So, if you tell it that you are poor, it will make you poor, and if you tell it that you are sick, it will make you sick, and if you tell it that you are unlucky, it will arrange circumstances to prove that you are unlucky. This is why you must be very careful about the words you use when you talk to yourself, because every word you speak to yourself is a command to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is like a faithful servant that never sleeps and never stops working to bring into your life exactly what you have told it to bring. Many people do not understand this, and they go through life complaining and worrying and saying negative things about themselves, and then they wonder why nothing good ever happens to them. But the truth is that their subconscious mind is only doing what they commanded it to do. If you want your subconscious mind to bring you success and health and happiness and abundance, then you must speak to it with words of success and health and happiness and abundance, and you must repeat these words over and over again until your subconscious mind accepts them as true and begins to work day and night to make them come true in your outer world. The subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. So when you tell it something with feeling and conviction and repetition, it believes you completely, and it begins to rearrange your entire life to match the picture you have painted with your words. This is the great secret that the wise men and women of all ages have known and used to create miraculous changes in their lives, and this is the secret you must learn if you want to take control of your destiny and stop being a victim of circumstances. When you talk to your subconscious mind, you must speak to it as if what you desire has already happened, because the subconscious mind only understands the present tense, and it only responds to statements of fact, not statements of hope or wishing or someday thinking. If you say to your subconscious mind, "I hope I will be healthy someday," or "I wish I had more money," or "maybe things will get better," your subconscious mind hears uncertainty and doubt, and it does not know what to do with that kind of instruction. So it does nothing at all, or it continues to create more of what you already have, which is the very thing you are trying to change. But when you say to your subconscious mind, "I am healthy now," or "I am prosperous now," or "I am successful now," your subconscious mind accepts this as a command, and it immediately begins to work on making it true in your physical reality, even if your present circumstances seem to contradict what you are saying. This is where most people make their mistake, because they look at their current situation and they say, "I cannot tell my subconscious mind that I am wealthy when my bank account is empty," or "I cannot say I am healthy when I am feeling sick." But this is exactly backwards, because you must first plant the seed in your subconscious mind before you can see the harvest in your outer world. A farmer does not wait until the crops appear before he plants the seeds. He plants the seeds first in faith, knowing that if he tends to them properly, the crops will come in due season. And this is exactly how you must work with your subconscious mind. You must plant the seeds of your desires in the form of present tense affirmations, and you must water these seeds every single day with repetition and feeling and absolute conviction. And then, your subconscious mind, which is connected to infinite intelligence and infinite power, will bring forth the harvest in ways that you cannot possibly predict or imagine with your conscious mind alone. A woman said to Dr. Joseph Murphy that she had been saying affirmations for weeks and nothing had changed in her life. And Dr. Joseph Murphy asked her what affirmations she was using, and she said, "I am trying to be more confident and I am working on being healthier." And Dr. Joseph Murphy told her that these were not affirmations at all, but rather statements of effort and struggle. He told her to change her words to, "I am confident now," and "I am healthy now," and to repeat these words with feeling 50 times every morning and 50 times every night. And within 3 weeks she returned with tears of joy because her whole life had shifted in ways she could not explain. The subconscious mind responds to feeling more than it responds to words alone. And this is why 2 people can say the same affirmation and one person will get results while the other person gets nothing at all. Because the person who gets results is saying the words with deep feeling and emotion and conviction, while the person who gets no results is simply repeating words mechanically without any emotional power behind them. When you speak to your subconscious mind, you must feel the reality of what you are saying as if it has already come to pass. You must see it in your mind's eye, and you must experience the joy and the relief and the satisfaction of having it right now in this present moment. Because your subconscious mind does not respond to empty words, but it responds instantly and powerfully to feelings that are charged with belief and expectation. If you say, "I am wealthy," but you feel poor inside, your subconscious mind will ignore your words, and it will respond to your feelings, and it will continue to create poverty in your life. But if you say, "I am wealthy," and you allow yourself to feel the feeling of wealth flowing through you and surrounding you and lifting you up, then your subconscious mind will accept this feeling as reality, and it will move heaven and earth to make it manifest in your outer circumstances. This is why you must never speak your affirmations in a dry or doubtful or lifeless way. You must speak them with passion and with enthusiasm and with the kind of feeling that a child has when they receive a gift they have been longing for. Because this is the kind of feeling that penetrates deep into the subconscious mind and activates its creative power. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had been affirming success for months, but his business was still failing and he was about to lose everything. And Dr. Joseph Murphy asked him to repeat his affirmation out loud, and the man said in a flat, monotone voice, "I am successful in my business." And Dr. Joseph Murphy said to him that he was affirming failure, not success, because his tone was filled with doubt and defeat. Dr. Joseph Murphy instructed him to stand up and to say his affirmation with strength and conviction and joy, as if his business was already thriving beyond his wildest dreams. And at first the man felt foolish doing this, but he followed the instruction, and within days, new opportunities began to appear. And within 2 months his business had completely turned around, and he was making more money than he had ever made before. Your subconscious mind is most receptive to your commands when you are in a relaxed and drowsy state, and this is why the best time to talk to your subconscious mind is just before you fall asleep at night and just as you are waking up in the morning, because in these moments, the barrier between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind is thin, and your affirmations can slip through easily without interference from your doubting thoughts and your rational objections. When you lie down to sleep at night, you should quiet your mind and relax your body completely, and then you should repeat your affirmation over and over again with feeling until you drift off into sleep. And as you do this, your affirmation will sink deep into your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind will work on it all through the night while your conscious mind is resting. Many people make the mistake of going to bed worrying about their problems and rehearsing their fears and imagining worst-case scenarios, and then they wonder why they wake up feeling anxious and defeated. But this is because they have spent the most powerful programming time of the day feeding their subconscious mind with negative instructions. If you go to sleep thinking about lack, your subconscious mind will create more lack. If you go to sleep thinking about illness, your subconscious mind will create more illness. But if you go to sleep repeating words of health and wealth and happiness and peace, then your subconscious mind will spend the entire night arranging circumstances and attracting people and opening doors to bring these things into your life. In the morning, when you first open your eyes before you get out of bed, you should lie still for a few moments and repeat your affirmations again with feeling and gratitude, because this is when your subconscious mind is still close to the surface and it is ready to receive your instructions for the day ahead. A woman said to Dr. Joseph Murphy that she could never sleep well because she suffered from insomnia and racing thoughts, and Dr. Joseph Murphy told her to stop fighting her thoughts and instead to use the time before sleep to repeat the words, "I am relaxed, and I am peaceful, and I sleep soundly through the night." And she did this faithfully every night for 2 weeks, and her insomnia completely disappeared, and she began to sleep like a baby. You must never use negative words when you talk to your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind does not understand negatives, and it will often produce the very thing you are trying to avoid. If you say to your subconscious mind, "I am not sick," your subconscious mind hears the word sick, and it focuses on sickness, and it may actually create more sickness in your body. And if you say, "I am not poor," your subconscious mind hears the word poor, and it focuses on poverty, and it may create more poverty in your life. This is why you must always frame your affirmations in positive terms and tell your subconscious mind what you want rather than what you do not want. Because your subconscious mind is like a camera that takes a picture of whatever you point it at, and it cannot take a picture of something that is not there. Instead of saying, "I am not afraid," you should say, "I am brave and confident." Instead of saying, "I am not alone," you should say, "I am surrounded by love and friendship." Instead of saying, "I do not want to be sick," you should say, "I am healthy and strong and filled with vitality." Every word you speak to your subconscious mind creates an image in your inner world, and your subconscious mind then works to make that image real in your outer world. So you must be very careful to create images of what you desire and not images of what you fear or what you wish to escape from. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he kept affirming, "I will not fail at my new job," but he was fired within 3 months, and Dr. Joseph Murphy explained to him that he had been programming his subconscious mind with the image of failure by constantly using the word fail in his affirmation. Dr. Joseph Murphy told him that in his next job, he should affirm, "I am successful and valued and appreciated in my work." And when the man did this with his next position, he not only kept the job, but he was promoted twice within 1 year because his subconscious mind was now focused on success instead of failure. The words you speak out loud to others and the words you speak silently to yourself are both heard by your subconscious mind. And this is why you must guard your speech carefully throughout the day and refuse to speak words of limitation or defeat or complaint, even in casual conversation. When someone asks you how you are doing, you should not say, "I am tired," or "I am stressed," or "I am broke," or "I am struggling," because every time you say these things, you are giving your subconscious mind a direct command to create more tiredness and more stress and more financial lack and more struggle in your life. Instead, you should train yourself to say, "I am well," or "I am blessed," or "I am prosperous," or "things are working out beautifully for me." And even if these statements do not match your present circumstances, you should say them anyway, because you are not reporting on your current condition, but rather you are declaring the condition you wish to create. Many people think that it is dishonest or foolish to speak positively when things are going badly. But this is a misunderstanding of how the creative process works, because you are not lying to others or to yourself, but rather you are speaking the truth in advance, and you are using your words to build a new reality from the invisible substance of mind. Your subconscious mind is always eavesdropping on your conversations, and it takes every word you say as an instruction. So, if you constantly complain about your health or your finances or your relationships, you are instructing your subconscious mind to perpetuate these negative conditions. But if you speak words of gratitude and confidence and expectation, you are instructing your subconscious mind to lift you up and to bring you into alignment with better circumstances. A woman said to Dr. Joseph Murphy that she felt like a hypocrite when she told people she was doing well, even though she was facing serious problems. And Dr. Joseph Murphy told her that she was not being a hypocrite, but rather she was being a wise architect of her own destiny. And he told her to continue speaking positively no matter what, and within a short time her problems began to dissolve one by one, until she found herself truly able to say that she was doing well and actually mean it from the bottom of her heart. Your subconscious mind works best when you give it clear and specific instructions rather than vague and general wishes, because the subconscious mind is a precise mechanism that needs a definite target to aim for, just as an archer needs a clear target to hit with an arrow. If you say to your subconscious mind, "I want to be happy," your subconscious mind does not know what happiness means to you, because happiness means different things to different people, and so it cannot create a clear picture of what you want, and it will produce confused and random results. But if you say to your subconscious mind, "I am joyfully living in my beautiful home by the ocean with my loving family, and I wake up every morning feeling peaceful and grateful and excited about my day," your subconscious mind now has a clear and detailed picture to work with, and it can begin to arrange circumstances and guide you toward actions that will bring this specific vision into reality. The more details you give your subconscious mind, the more power it has to create what you desire. So you should not just say, "I am wealthy," but you should say exactly what wealth means to you. You should see the amount of money in your bank account and feel what it feels like to have that money, and imagine what you will do with it and how it will change your life for the better. You should not just say, "I am healthy," but you should picture yourself full of energy and strength, see yourself moving easily and freely, feel the vitality flowing through every cell of your body. Imagine yourself doing activities you love without pain or limitation. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had been affirming prosperity for years, but nothing ever changed, and when Dr. Joseph Murphy asked him what prosperity meant to him, the man said he just wanted to be comfortable, and Dr. Joseph Murphy explained that comfortable was too vague and weak a word to stir the creative power of the subconscious mind. Dr. Joseph Murphy instructed him to decide on an exact income he wished to earn and to picture himself receiving that income and using it wisely and joyfully. And when the man began to do this with clear specificity, within 6 months, opportunities came to him that more than doubled his income. You must speak to your subconscious mind with absolute authority and certainty, as if you are a king giving orders to loyal servants who will carry out your commands without question or delay. Because if you speak with doubt or hesitation or timidity, your subconscious mind will sense your uncertainty and it will not take your instructions seriously. When you say your affirmations, you should say them with the same confidence that you would say your own name or state a simple fact like "the sun rises in the east," because these things are true beyond any doubt, and you do not question them, and you do not wonder if they might not be true. Your affirmation should have this same quality of absolute knowing and unshakable conviction, and when you speak it, you should feel in your heart that it is already done, and there is no possibility of failure or delay. If you say, "I am healed," but in the back of your mind you are thinking, "But what if I am not really healed?" then you have cancelled out your affirmation with doubt, and your subconscious mind will respond to the doubt rather than to the affirmation. You must learn to speak to your subconscious mind with complete decisiveness, as if you are speaking a law into existence that cannot be broken or changed, and you must refuse to allow any contrary thoughts or fears or worries to weaken the force of your command. This does not mean that you ignore reality or pretend that problems do not exist, but it means that you declare a new reality with such power and faith that your subconscious mind has no choice but to accept it and begin working to manifest it in your physical world. A woman said to Dr. Joseph Murphy that she tried to affirm health, but she kept thinking about her symptoms and worrying about her diagnosis. And Dr. Joseph Murphy told her that she was trying to serve 2 masters at once and that she must make a firm decision to place her attention entirely on health and to refuse to give any power to thoughts of sickness. He told her to speak her affirmation of perfect health with the same authority that a judge speaks a verdict in a courtroom, and when she learned to do this, her symptoms began to fade, and within weeks she received a clean bill of health from her doctor, who could not explain the sudden improvement. Repetition is the key that unlocks the power of your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind learns through repetition, just as you learn to walk and talk and read through repeating the same actions over and over until they became automatic and natural. One single affirmation spoken once or twice has very little power, because it is like a tiny drop of water that falls on a stone and makes no impression. But when you repeat your affirmation many times every day for days and weeks and months, it is like a steady stream of water that eventually wears away the stone and reshapes it completely. You must repeat your affirmations so many times that they become written into the very fabric of your subconscious mind, and the way you know that your affirmation has taken root in your subconscious is when it begins to feel natural and true to you, even when your outer circumstances have not yet changed. Some people say their affirmations a few times and then they give up because they do not see immediate results, but this is like a farmer planting seeds and then digging them up the next day to see if they are growing, and of course when you do this, you destroy the seeds and prevent them from ever producing a harvest. You must plant your affirmation in your subconscious mind through repetition, and then you must leave it alone and trust that it is working beneath the surface, even when you cannot see any evidence of change. And if you do this faithfully, the results will appear in due time, and they will often appear suddenly and dramatically, as if they came out of nowhere. The ancient wisdom teachers knew this principle, and this is why they taught their students to repeat sacred words and prayers hundreds of times each day, because they understood that repetition impressed the subconscious mind and opened the door to miracles. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he did not have time to repeat affirmations all day because he was too busy with work and family responsibilities, and Dr. Joseph Murphy told him that he did not need to set aside hours of time, but that he could repeat his affirmations while driving or walking or doing routine tasks. And he told him that even 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night done faithfully every day would produce remarkable results if done with feeling and conviction. The man followed this advice, and within 3 months, he had manifested a promotion at work that gave him both more income and more free time with his family. Your subconscious mind does not care whether you are rich or poor, educated or uneducated, young or old. It will work for anyone who learns to speak to it correctly, and it will produce results with the same reliability that the sun rises every morning and the seasons change every year. The laws of mind are universal and impersonal, and they work the same way for all people in all places at all times, and this is why you do not need any special talent or spiritual gift or secret knowledge to make your subconscious mind obey you. You only need to follow the simple principles that have been proven true by thousands of people throughout history. You do not need to understand how your subconscious mind works any more than you need to understand how electricity works in order to turn on a light. You only need to flip the switch in the right way, and the light will come on every time. The switch that activates your subconscious mind is clear, positive affirmations repeated with feeling and conviction until they become accepted as truth. And once you flip this switch, your subconscious mind will flood your life with the light of your desires, just as surely as flipping a light switch floods a dark room with light. You do not need to beg your subconscious mind or plead with it or try to convince it, because it is not a separate being that judges you or withholds its power from you. It is simply a law of nature that responds automatically to the thoughts and feelings you habitually impress upon it. A woman said to Dr. Joseph Murphy that she felt unworthy of success and happiness because she had made many mistakes in her past, and Dr. Joseph Murphy told her that her subconscious mind did not care about her past and did not judge her worthiness. And he told her that the moment she began to impress new thoughts upon her subconscious mind, it would immediately begin to create new conditions in her life, regardless of what had happened before. He instructed her to forgive herself and to begin affirming, "I am worthy of all good things, and I now accept the abundance that is my birthright." And as she did this daily with sincerity, she found that opportunities and blessings began to flow into her life in ways that amazed her and proved to her that her past truly had no power over her future. You must be patient with your subconscious mind and trust in the timing of its creative process, because just as a seed planted in the ground does not become a tree overnight, your affirmations planted in your subconscious mind need time to grow and develop before they can manifest in your physical reality. Some affirmations produce results very quickly within days or weeks, especially if they relate to simple matters, or if you have very little resistance or doubt about them. But other affirmations, especially those related to major life changes, may take months to fully manifest. because your subconscious mind must rearrange many circumstances and coordinate many events and prepare you mentally and emotionally for the new conditions you are requesting. During this waiting period, you must continue to affirm and to feel and to trust without wavering, even when you see no outward evidence of progress, because the moment you give up and return to negative thinking, you cancel out all the work your subconscious mind has been doing, and you must start the process all over again from the beginning. This is why persistence is more important than any other quality when working with your subconscious mind, because those who persist in their affirmations with unwavering faith will eventually see their desires manifest, while those who give up too soon will remain stuck in their old conditions, wondering why the law does not work for them. You must remember that your subconscious mind is always working, even when you cannot see or feel anything happening. Just as the seed buried in dark soil is always growing, even though the farmer cannot see it until the day it finally breaks through the surface of the earth. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had been affirming a new job for 2 months and nothing had happened and he was ready to give up. And Dr. Joseph Murphy told him that 2 months was nothing and that he must continue for as long as it takes, because the moment he stopped affirming, he would lose everything he had already built up in consciousness. Dr. Joseph Murphy encouraged him to persist with faith and patience, and the man agreed to continue, and exactly 1 week later, he received a phone call offering him a position that was better than anything he had dared to imagine, and he realized that if he had given up just 1 week earlier, he would have missed this blessing entirely. When you speak to your subconscious mind, you must never compare yourself to others or wish for what others have, because your subconscious mind can only create what is right and perfect for you, according to your own unique nature and distinct purpose. And when you try to copy someone else's life or success, you confuse your subconscious mind and weaken its power to bring you what truly belongs to you. Every person has their own path and their own lessons and their own gifts to develop. And what brings happiness and fulfillment to one person may bring misery and frustration to another. So you must look within yourself and discover what you truly desire from the depths of your own heart, rather than looking at what your neighbor has or what society tells you that you should want. When you affirm success, you should not picture yourself living exactly like someone else or having exactly what they have. You should picture yourself expressing your own talents in your own way and receiving the abundance that flows naturally from your own authentic self. Your subconscious mind knows what is best for you better than your conscious mind knows, and when you give it a general direction such as, "I am living my perfect life filled with joy and purpose and abundance," your subconscious mind will lead you to the specific circumstances and opportunities that match your true nature, even if they are completely different from what you consciously expected. The person who tries to force their life into a mold copied from someone else will always feel empty and dissatisfied no matter how much they achieve. But the person who allows their subconscious mind to express their own unique vision will feel fulfilled and complete, even in simple circumstances. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he wanted to be a wealthy businessman, like his brother, who owned several companies. And he had been affirming this for a year, but he felt increasingly unhappy and anxious. And Dr. Joseph Murphy asked him if he truly enjoyed business, or if he was only pursuing it because of his brother. The man admitted that he actually loved teaching and working with children, but he had always thought that teaching was not impressive enough. And Dr. Joseph Murphy told him that he was fighting against his own nature and that his subconscious mind was resisting his affirmations because they were not aligned with his true calling. Dr. Joseph Murphy instructed him to begin affirming, "I am successfully doing the work I love, and I am abundantly provided for in all ways." And when the man did this, he soon found an opportunity to teach at a prestigious school where he was happy and well paid, and finally at peace with himself. Your subconscious mind responds to gratitude more powerfully than to any other emotion, because gratitude opens the channels of abundance and tells your subconscious mind that you are ready to receive more blessings, while complaining and ingratitude close these channels and tell your subconscious mind that you are not satisfied and therefore not ready for more good things to come into your life. When you are grateful for what you already have, even if it is very little, you send a signal to your subconscious mind that you recognize and appreciate the good in your life, and your subconscious mind responds by bringing you more things to be grateful for, because it always multiplies whatever you focus your attention upon. But when you constantly complain about what you lack and focus on what is wrong and criticize your circumstances, you send a signal to your subconscious mind that you are a person who cannot be satisfied, and your subconscious mind responds by creating more lack and more problems because it is simply following your dominant mental attitude. This is why the ancient teachers always told their students to give thanks in all circumstances and to praise and bless everything in their lives, because they knew that gratitude was the secret key that unlocked the treasure house of infinite supply. You should begin and end each day with gratitude. You should give thanks for your health, even if it is not perfect. Give thanks for your income, even if it is small. Give thanks for your home, even if it is humble. Give thanks for your relationships, even if they are difficult. Because as you do this, your health will improve, and your income will increase, and your home will become more comfortable, and your relationships will become more harmonious. A woman said to Dr. Joseph Murphy that she could not feel grateful because everything in her life was going wrong, and she had nothing to be thankful for, and Dr. Joseph Murphy told her that this attitude was the very reason why everything was going wrong, and that she must find something to be grateful for, no matter how small it seemed. He told her to begin by being grateful that she was alive and could breathe and could see and could hear, and to write down 10 things every morning that she appreciated in her life, even if they seemed insignificant. The woman reluctantly agreed to do this exercise, and within 2 weeks, her whole outlook had changed, and she began to notice good things happening around her. And within 2 months, her financial situation had improved dramatically, and she had reconciled with family members she had been estranged from for years. You must never speak to your subconscious mind about your problems in a way that gives them power and makes them seem permanent and unchangeable, because every time you say, "I have this problem," or "I am suffering from this condition," or "this situation is hopeless," you are instructing your subconscious mind to accept the problem as a fixed reality and to perpetuate it indefinitely. Instead, you must speak about your problems as temporary conditions that are already in the process of being dissolved and replaced by their opposites, and you must affirm the solution rather than dwelling on the problem itself. If you are facing financial difficulty, you should not say, "I am broke," or "I have no money," or "I am drowning in debt," because these statements command your subconscious mind to create more financial difficulty, but instead you should say, "Money is flowing to me from expected and unexpected sources," or "I am moving into greater and greater financial freedom every day," or "all my needs are abundantly met." If you are dealing with illness, you should not say, "I am sick," or "this disease is destroying me," or "I will never get better," but instead you should say, "Perfect health is mine now," or "Every cell in my body is being restored to its natural state of wholeness," or "I am growing stronger and healthier every moment." This does not mean that you ignore your problems or pretend they do not exist. It means that you refuse to give your problems the power of your sustained attention and your emotional energy, and instead, you give all your power to the image of the solution that you wish to see manifested. Your subconscious mind will always move in the direction of your dominant thoughts and feelings. So, if you think about your problems all day long, your subconscious mind will make your problems bigger and stronger. But if you think about solutions and affirm the good that you desire, your subconscious mind will dissolve the problems and bring the solutions into your experience. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he was facing a lawsuit that could destroy his business, and he could not stop worrying about it and imagining worst-case scenarios. And Dr. Joseph Murphy told him that he was using his imagination against himself and feeding power to the very thing he feared. Dr. Joseph Murphy instructed him to stop thinking about the lawsuit entirely and instead to affirm many times each day, "This situation is resolved in harmony and for the highest good of all concerned, and I am protected by divine wisdom and divine love." And the man practiced this faithfully, and within a month the lawsuit was suddenly dropped, and the person who had filed it apologized and actually became a friend and business partner. The tone of voice you use when speaking to your subconscious mind matters just as much as the words themselves, because your subconscious mind responds to the emotional quality and the energy behind your words rather than to the literal meaning alone. And this is why a weak and doubtful affirmation spoken in a lifeless voice will produce weak and doubtful results, or no results at all. When you speak your affirmations, you should speak them with strength and conviction and enthusiasm, as if you are announcing a great victory or proclaiming a wonderful truth that fills you with joy and excitement, because this kind of energy penetrates deep into your subconscious mind and activates its creative power at the highest level. Some people think that spiritual practice must be solemn and serious and quiet, but this is a misunderstanding, because the greatest spiritual teachers throughout history were filled with joy and passion, and they spoke with fire in their voices when they declared the truth of infinite possibilities. You do not need to shout or strain your voice, but you do need to speak with genuine feeling and animation that comes from your heart, rather than just mechanically repeating words with your lips while your mind wanders somewhere else. If you find it difficult to generate genuine feeling when you speak your affirmations, you should take a few moments before you begin to imagine how you will feel when your desire has manifested. You should picture the scene in vivid detail and allow the feeling of joy and relief and satisfaction to build up inside you until it naturally overflows into your voice when you speak your affirmation. Your subconscious mind cannot be fooled by pretense. It knows when you truly believe what you are saying and when you are just going through the motions without real conviction. So you must find a way to speak your affirmations that feels authentic and powerful to you personally, even if it might seem strange or exaggerated to others. A woman said to Dr. Joseph Murphy that she felt embarrassed to speak her affirmations with emotion because she lived in a small apartment, and her neighbors might hear her and think she was crazy. And Dr. Joseph Murphy told her that she did not need to speak loudly, but that she could speak in a strong whisper or even speak silently in her mind, as long as she generated the feeling and conviction internally. He told her that the volume of her voice was not important, but the intensity of her feeling was everything, and when she began to practice her affirmations with quiet intensity and deep emotion, the results came just as quickly as if she had shouted them from the rooftop. Your subconscious mind works through the law of correspondence, which means that your outer world will always correspond to your inner world, and your circumstances will always mirror the beliefs and expectations you hold in your subconscious mind. So, if you want to change your outer circumstances, you must first change your inner beliefs by repeatedly impressing new thoughts and feelings upon your subconscious until they become your new, automatic way of thinking. Most people try to change their lives by changing their actions or their environment or other people, but this is working from the outside in, and it rarely produces lasting results because the outer conditions are not the cause, but the effect of what is happening in the subconscious mind. If you change your outer circumstances without changing your inner beliefs, your subconscious mind will simply recreate the old circumstances in a new form, because it is always working to maintain consistency between your inner and outer worlds. This is why people who win the lottery often lose all the money within a few years and return to their previous level of poverty, because their outer wealth changed, but their inner consciousness of poverty remained the same, and their subconscious mind could not accept the contradiction, so it created circumstances that brought them back into alignment with their inner belief. But when you change your inner beliefs first through persistent affirmation and mental imagery, your subconscious mind will then automatically change your outer circumstances to match your new inner reality. And these changes will be permanent and natural because they are flowing from the inside out, rather than being forced from the outside in. You do not need to figure out how your circumstances will change, or try to manipulate events or force doors to open. You only need to change your inner consciousness, and your subconscious mind will take care of all the details and orchestrate events in ways that your conscious mind could never plan or predict. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had changed jobs 3 times trying to find success and fulfillment, but every new job ended up being just as frustrating and unfulfilling as the last one. And Dr. Joseph Murphy explained to him that he was carrying his beliefs about himself and about work wherever he went, and that he would continue to recreate the same experience in every new environment until he changed his inner consciousness. Dr. Joseph Murphy instructed him to stop looking for a new job and instead to spend 30 days affirming, I am successful and valued, and I do work that is perfectly suited to my talents and brings me joy and abundant compensation, and to do this morning and night with deep feeling until he felt a shift in his inner being. The man followed this instruction faithfully, and after 30 days he felt completely different about himself and his capabilities, and shortly after that, his current employer offered him a new position within the company that was exactly what he had been searching for all along. You must protect your affirmations and your mental work from the interference of negative people who will try to discourage you or mock you or tell you that what you are attempting is impossible. Because when you share your dreams and your goals with people who do not understand the power of the subconscious mind, they will often plant seeds of doubt in your conscious mind that can weaken your faith and slow down or stop your progress. It is a sad truth that many people are so trapped in their own limited thinking that they cannot bear to see others break free and succeed, and they will unconsciously or deliberately try to pull you back down to their level by criticizing your methods or reminding you of your past failures or listing all the reasons why your desires cannot manifest. You do not need to argue with these people or try to convince them or prove anything to them. You simply need to keep your plans private and do your mental work in silence until your results appear in the physical world and speak for themselves. The ancient mystery schools taught their students to work in secret and to guard their spiritual practices from the eyes of the uninitiated, not because there was anything wrong with sharing knowledge, but because they understood that premature disclosure of inner work would expose it to the negative thoughts and doubts of others and would drain away its power before it could take root and grow strong. When you are working on manifesting something important, you should tell only those people who you know will support you and believe in you, or better yet, tell no one at all and keep your affirmations as a sacred secret between you and your subconscious mind. A woman said to Dr. Joseph Murphy that she had been very excited about her new affirmation practice and had told all her friends and family about it, but they had laughed at her and told her she was being foolish and unrealistic. And now she found it difficult to continue her affirmations because their voices of doubt kept echoing in her mind. Dr. Joseph Murphy told her that she had made a mistake by casting her pearls before swine, as the scripture says, and he instructed her to stop discussing her inner work with anyone and to renew her affirmations with even greater determination and to prove to herself that the law works regardless of what others believe. The woman followed this advice and stopped talking about her practice, and within weeks she began to see results that amazed her, and her friends and family who had doubted her were forced to admit that something remarkable had happened in her life, even though they still did not understand how. Your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between a real experience and a vividly imagined experience, and this is why visualization combined with affirmation is one of the most powerful ways to impress your desires upon your subconscious mind and cause it to bring those desires into physical manifestation. When you simply repeat words without forming mental pictures, you are using only half of your creative power. But when you combine your affirmations with clear and detailed mental images that you see and feel as if they were real right now in this present moment, you multiply your power many times over because you are engaging both your conscious and subconscious mind in the creative process. You should set aside time each day to sit quietly and close your eyes and construct a mental scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire, and you should make this scene as real and as vivid as possible by including all the sensory details you can imagine, such as what you see and what you hear and what you feel and what you smell and what you touch. If you are affirming prosperity, you should see yourself holding a bank statement with a large balance. Feel the paper in your hands, see the numbers clearly printed on the page, feel the sense of security and freedom that comes with having abundant money. Hear yourself saying thank you for this wonderful abundance. If you are affirming health, you should see yourself moving with energy and vitality. Feel the strength in your muscles and the deep, easy breathing in your lungs. See yourself doing activities you love without any pain or limitation. Hear others commenting on how well you look. The more details you include in your mental picture, the more real it becomes to your subconscious mind. And the more real it becomes to your subconscious mind, the faster it will manifest in your outer world. You should repeat this visualization exercise at least twice a day, once in the morning and once before sleep. And each time, you should spend at least 5 to 10 minutes holding the mental picture steady and feeling the emotions associated with having your desire already fulfilled. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had been affirming abundance for months, but he never took time to actually picture what abundance meant to him. He just repeated the words mechanically while his mind wandered to other things, and Dr. Joseph Murphy explained that this was like trying to give someone directions to a place you have never seen and do not know how to describe. Dr. Joseph Murphy taught him to create a specific mental movie of himself, living abundantly, seeing his bills paid with ease, seeing himself traveling to places he wanted to visit, seeing himself generous and relaxed and free from financial worry. And when the man began to practice this visualization with his affirmations, his financial situation changed dramatically within 60 days. You must be willing to act on the guidance and opportunities that your subconscious mind sends to you in response to your affirmations, because your subconscious mind does not usually drop your desires into your lap fully formed, but instead it guides you step by step through impressions and intuitions and circumstances that lead you toward your goal. Many people make the mistake of thinking that all they need to do is affirm and visualize and then sit back and wait for a miracle to appear. But this is only half of the process, because your subconscious mind works through you and not just for you, and it will prompt you to take certain actions or to contact certain people or to investigate certain opportunities that are part of the pathway to your desire. You must learn to recognize these promptings and to follow them even when they do not make logical sense to your conscious mind, because your subconscious mind can see connections and possibilities that your conscious mind cannot see, and it will lead you by a path that is perfect for you, even though you may not understand why you are being led that way. Sometimes the guidance comes as a sudden idea that pops into your mind. Sometimes it comes as a feeling that you should call a certain person or go to a certain place. Sometimes it comes as an opportunity that appears unexpectedly and seems too good to be true. And when these things happen, you must have the courage and faith to act upon them quickly, without hesitation or second guessing. The person who affirms prosperity but refuses to follow up on a job lead because they are too comfortable in their routine is blocking their own good. The person who affirms health but refuses to change their diet or exercise habits when they feel prompted to do so is working against their own subconscious mind. Your affirmations open the door, but you must walk through the door when it opens. And if you refuse to walk through it, the door will close, and you will have to wait for it to open again. A woman said to Dr. Joseph Murphy that she had been affirming her perfect career for 6 months, and nothing had happened. But when Dr. Joseph Murphy questioned her more closely, he discovered that she had received several intuitive nudges to update her resume and to reach out to a former colleague, but she had ignored these promptings because she did not see how they could possibly lead to anything. Dr. Joseph Murphy explained to her that her subconscious mind had been trying to guide her, but she had been refusing to cooperate, and he told her to immediately take the actions she had been prompted to take, even though they seemed small and insignificant. The woman followed this advice, and within 2 weeks, the former colleague contacted her about a position that turned out to be exactly what she had been affirming, and she realized that if she had continued to ignore the guidance, she would have missed this perfect opportunity entirely. Your subconscious mind is connected to the infinite intelligence that governs all of life and knows all things, and when you ask your subconscious mind a question or present it with a problem, it will access this infinite intelligence and bring you the answer or the solution in ways that seem mysterious and miraculous to your conscious mind. You do not need to struggle and strain and worry trying to figure out how to solve your problems or how to make your desires manifest, because your conscious mind, with all its education and cleverness, is limited and finite and cannot possibly know all the factors and all the possibilities that exist in any situation. But your subconscious mind is connected to a wisdom that is unlimited and all-knowing, and when you turn your problems over to your subconscious mind with faith and then relax and go about your daily business, your subconscious mind will work on the problem day and night and will present you with solutions that are far better than anything your conscious mind could have devised. The way to do this is to clearly state your problem or question to your subconscious mind just before you go to sleep at night. And then to affirm with confidence, my subconscious mind knows the answer and is revealing it to me now. And then to release the problem completely from your conscious thinking and trust that the answer will come. Often the answer will come to you in the morning when you wake up as a clear knowing or a fresh idea, or it may come during the day as a sudden insight while you are doing something completely unrelated to the problem, or it may come through something you read or something someone says to you, or an opportunity that appears seemingly by chance. You must be alert and receptive to recognize the answer when it comes, because it may not come in the form you expected. But if you have truly turned the problem over to your subconscious mind with faith, you can be absolutely certain that the answer will come and it will be the right answer for you. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had a complex business decision to make, and he had been agonizing over it for weeks, analyzing every option and making lists of pros and cons, but feeling more confused than ever. And Dr. Joseph Murphy told him to stop all his conscious analysis and instead to present the problem to his subconscious mind at bedtime and then to forget about it completely. The man was skeptical, but he agreed to try, and he said to his subconscious mind that night, "Infinite intelligence within me knows the right decision and is revealing it clearly to me." And then he went to sleep peacefully, and the next morning he woke up with absolute clarity about what he should do, and the decision turned out to be brilliantly successful, even though it was not the option his conscious mind had been favoring. You must never use the power of your subconscious mind to harm another person, or to take what rightfully belongs to another, or to manipulate circumstances for selfish gain at the expense of others, because the law of mind is also the law of harmony, and whatever you send out mentally and emotionally will return to you multiplied, whether it is good or evil. If you affirm success that comes through cheating or deceiving others, your subconscious mind may indeed produce that success temporarily, but it will also produce the consequences of your harmful intentions, and you will eventually lose everything you gained and more. If you use mental imagery to try to control or manipulate another person against their will or their highest good, you are misusing spiritual law, and you will create karmic debts that must be paid in suffering and limitation. The right way to use your subconscious mind is always to affirm good for yourself in ways that also allow good for everyone else, and to add to your affirmations the phrase, "or something better for the highest good of all concerned," because this keeps your intentions pure and aligned with divine harmony, and ensures that your manifestations will be permanent and blessed. You should never affirm, "I want that specific job that John has," or "I want Mary to fall in love with me," even though she loves someone else, because these are attempts to violate another person's free will and path. But instead, you should affirm, "I now have the perfect job for me, where I am appreciated and well paid and fulfilled," or "I now attract the perfect romantic partner who loves me freely and completely and who is perfect for me in every way." When you affirm in this open and harmonious way, your subconscious mind will bring you what is truly yours by divine right, and will not bring you anything that would cause harm to yourself or others. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had been affirming that his business competitor would fail so that he could take over their customers, and he asked why his affirmations were not working and why instead his own business was declining. Dr. Joseph Murphy explained to him that he was using the law destructively, and that the negative energy he was sending toward his competitor was actually harming himself, because the law of mind always returns to the sender whatever is sent out. Dr. Joseph Murphy instructed him to immediately cease all negative thoughts toward his competitor, and instead to affirm, "There is abundance for everyone, and my business prospers in harmony with all other businesses, and I attract all the customers who need my services." And when the man changed his affirmations in this way, his business began to recover, and eventually he and his former competitor even found ways to cooperate that benefited both of them. Your subconscious mind responds to symbols and rituals that help to impress your desires more deeply upon it, and this is why spiritual traditions throughout history have used ceremonies and symbolic actions to reinforce their prayers and affirmations. You can create your own simple rituals to enhance the power of your communication with your subconscious mind, such as lighting a candle when you say your affirmations to symbolize the light of truth illuminating your consciousness, or writing your desire on a piece of paper and placing it under your pillow to symbolize that you are sleeping on your good and allowing your subconscious mind to work on it through the night, or creating a vision board with pictures that represent your desires and looking at it each morning and evening while you affirm that these things are now manifesting in your life. These symbolic actions may seem unnecessary or even silly to your rational conscious mind, but they speak a language that your subconscious mind understands because your subconscious mind thinks in images and symbols rather than in logical arguments and abstract concepts. When you combine your verbal affirmations with symbolic actions, you are creating a more complete and powerful message to your subconscious mind, and you are also demonstrating your faith and commitment, which strengthens the emotional force behind your affirmations. The symbolic action does not need to be elaborate or complicated. It only needs to be meaningful to you and to be performed with sincere intention and feeling. Some people find it helpful to have a special place in their home where they sit to do their affirmations and visualizations, a place that becomes consecrated through repeated use and that signals to the subconscious mind that when they are in that place, they are engaged in sacred, creative work. Others find it helpful to use music or incense or other sensory elements that create a special atmosphere and help them to enter a receptive state of mind. A woman said to Dr. Joseph Murphy that she wanted to make her affirmation practice more powerful and asked if there was anything she could do beyond just repeating words, and Dr. Joseph Murphy suggested that she create a simple ritual of writing her affirmation in a beautiful journal each morning as an act of planting the seed in her consciousness, and in the evening to read what she had written and to give thanks as if it had already come to pass. The woman did this faithfully, and she found that this simple ritual helped her to stay focused and committed to her affirmations, and it also created a record that she could look back on later to see how her desires had manifested exactly as she had written them, or in even better forms than she had imagined. You must understand that your subconscious mind is always working, whether you are consciously directing it or not, and if you do not give it clear positive instructions, it will simply continue to operate according to whatever beliefs and patterns have been programmed into it by your past experiences and by the suggestions you have accepted from your environment. This means that most people are unconsciously creating their lives through default programming rather than through conscious choice, and they are repeatedly manifesting the same problems and limitations because their subconscious mind is following old instructions that they do not even remember giving. If you were raised in an environment where you constantly heard messages about scarcity and struggle and difficulty, these messages have been impressed upon your subconscious mind, and it will continue to create scarcity and struggle and difficulty in your adult life until you deliberately overwrite these old programs with new affirmations of abundance and ease and success. If you experienced trauma or failure in your past, and you have not released the emotional charge and the negative beliefs that came from those experiences, your subconscious mind will continue to protect you from similar situations by creating circumstances that match your expectation of being hurt or failing again. The good news is that it does not matter how long these negative programs have been operating or how deeply they are embedded, because your subconscious mind is always ready to accept new instructions and to begin creating new patterns the moment you begin to feed it new thoughts and new feelings consistently and persistently. You do not need to go digging through your past, trying to analyze and understand every negative belief you have ever absorbed. You only need to start now in this present moment to impress upon your subconscious mind the positive beliefs you wish to have operating in your life. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had been in therapy for years trying to overcome his childhood programming, and he felt like he was making no progress. And Dr. Joseph Murphy told him that while understanding the past could be helpful, he did not need to wait until he had fully analyzed every childhood experience before he could begin creating a new future. Dr. Joseph Murphy taught him to start immediately affirming, "I am free from all past conditioning, and I now create my life according to my own conscious choice, and my subconscious mind responds to my new directives with perfect obedience." And as the man practiced this daily, he found that he began to change rapidly, without needing to relive and process every painful memory from his past. Your subconscious mind works most effectively when you maintain a state of relaxed expectancy rather than anxious striving, because anxiety and desperation actually push your desires away by signaling to your subconscious mind that you do not truly believe you can have what you are asking for. When you affirm something while feeling desperate or fearful or impatient, you are sending a mixed message to your subconscious mind, because your words are saying one thing, but your emotions are saying something completely different, and your subconscious mind will always respond to your emotions more than to your words. This is why people who are desperate for money often repel money, no matter how many affirmations they say, and people who are desperate for love often repel love, and people who are anxiously attached to a specific outcome often find that outcome slipping further and further from their grasp. The secret is to affirm your desire with confidence and then to release it to your subconscious mind with the same relaxed trust that you would have if you had already received what you asked for and were now simply waiting for the delivery. You must cultivate what the ancient teachers called detachment, which does not mean that you do not care about your desire, but rather that you are not anxiously attached to how or when or through what means it will come to you, because you know with absolute certainty that your subconscious mind is working on it and that it will manifest at the perfect time in the perfect way. When you have this attitude of relaxed expectancy, you feel peaceful and happy even before your desire manifests. And this peaceful, happy feeling is itself a powerful signal to your subconscious mind that accelerates the manifestation process. The person who can say, "I know my good is coming to me, and I am content to wait for it with joyful anticipation," will receive their good much faster than the person who constantly checks and worries and wonders why it has not come yet. A woman said to Dr. Joseph Murphy that she had been affirming a healing for her mother who was very ill, but she was consumed with worry and fear, and she felt frantic and desperate, and Dr. Joseph Murphy told her that her worry was actually interfering with the healing because she was negating her affirmations with her fearful emotions. He taught her to affirm, "I now turn my mother over to the healing power of infinite intelligence, and I know that perfect healing is taking place now," and then to release all worry and to trust completely in the power of her subconscious mind and the divine intelligence that governs all healing. When the woman learned to practice her affirmations with this attitude of peaceful trust instead of desperate fear, she noticed that she felt calmer and more hopeful, and within a short time her mother's condition began to improve dramatically, and the doctors were amazed by the recovery. The words you use in your affirmations should be words that inspire and uplift you personally, and there is no single correct formula that works for everyone, because each person has their own unique way of thinking and speaking and feeling. Some people respond best to simple direct statements like "I am healthy" or "I am prosperous," while other people need more elaborate and poetic affirmations that stir their emotions more deeply, and you must experiment and discover what style of affirmation works best for you and makes you feel most powerful and confident when you say it. The important thing is not the exact words, but the feeling and conviction behind the words, so you should craft your affirmations in whatever way makes them feel most real and true to you personally. You can use traditional affirmations that have been used by others with great success, or you can create your own original affirmations that speak directly to your specific situation and your specific desires. Some people like to use affirmations that include references to God or divine power or infinite intelligence, because these words help them to feel connected to something greater than themselves, while other people prefer to keep their affirmations simple and personal, without any religious or spiritual language. Both approaches work equally well, as long as the affirmation resonates with your own belief system and generates strong, positive feeling when you say it. You should also feel free to change and evolve your affirmations as you grow and as your understanding deepens, because what worked for you at one stage of your development may need to be updated or refined as you move forward on your journey. The worst thing you can do is to use affirmations that someone else told you to use but that do not feel natural or believable to you. Because if your affirmation feels forced or artificial, it will not have the power to penetrate your subconscious mind, no matter how many times you repeat it. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy, that he had been using affirmations he found in a book, but they felt awkward and uncomfortable when he said them, and Dr. Joseph Murphy told him to stop using those affirmations and to create his own in his own words using whatever language felt most natural and powerful to him. The man created new affirmations that were simpler and more direct and matched his own speaking style, and immediately he felt a difference in his confidence and conviction when he said them, and his results improved dramatically because his affirmations now came from his heart rather than from someone else's prescription. Your subconscious mind will test your faith by sometimes allowing circumstances to appear worse before they get better, and this is the crucial moment when most people give up on their affirmations and return to their old negative thinking patterns. When you begin to work consciously with your subconscious mind through affirmations and visualization, you are challenging old patterns and beliefs that have been in place for years or even decades, and these old patterns do not dissolve immediately, but rather they often seem to intensify for a period of time, as if they are making one last, desperate effort to maintain control of your life. If you are affirming prosperity, you may suddenly face unexpected expenses or financial setbacks that seem to contradict your affirmations. If you are affirming health, you may experience a temporary worsening of symptoms. If you are affirming harmonious relationships, you may encounter conflicts and disagreements. This is the moment when you must hold firm to your affirmations and refuse to be deceived by appearances, because these apparent setbacks are actually signs that your old patterns are breaking up and being replaced by new patterns, just as a building must first be demolished before a new and better building can be constructed on the same site. If you continue to affirm and to trust during this testing period, the negative appearances will soon dissolve and your desires will manifest in their place. But if you lose faith and give up because things seem to be getting worse, you will abort the process just before the breakthrough was about to occur. This testing period is the narrow gate that separates those who merely dabble with affirmations from those who truly master the science of mind, and those who pass through this gate emerge with unshakable faith because they have proven to themselves that the law works even when all appearances suggest otherwise. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had been affirming financial success for 3 weeks when suddenly he lost his job, and he concluded that affirmations did not work and in fact seemed to make things worse. And Dr. Joseph Murphy told him that this was the worst possible time to give up because his subconscious mind was in the process of rearranging his life to bring him something better than his old job. Dr. Joseph Murphy urged him to continue his affirmations with even greater faith and to trust that this apparent setback was actually part of the pathway to his good, and the man reluctantly agreed to continue, and within 2 weeks he was offered a position at a different company that paid significantly more and provided better opportunities for advancement than his previous job ever could have offered. You must speak to your subconscious mind with the same consistency and regularity that you feed your physical body, because just as your body requires daily nourishment to maintain health and strength, your subconscious mind requires daily nourishment in the form of positive affirmations and mental imagery to maintain the consciousness of success and abundance and well-being. You cannot expect to say affirmations once or twice and then stop and still receive lasting results, any more than you could expect to eat 1 or 2 good meals and then never eat again and still maintain your health. The power of affirmations lies not in any single repetition, but in the cumulative effect of steady, consistent practice over time, and this is why the most successful practitioners of mental science make affirmations a regular part of their daily routine, just as necessary and automatic as brushing their teeth or eating breakfast. You should establish a specific time each day when you will do your affirmations, preferably the same time each day so that it becomes a habit that you do not have to think about or remember, and you should protect this time as sacred and not allow other activities or distractions to interfere with it. Some people prefer to do their affirmations first thing in the morning before they start their daily activities. Others prefer to do them at night before sleep, and still others find it helpful to do them both morning and night, and perhaps also at midday for extra reinforcement. The important thing is not when you do them, but that you do them regularly and consistently without skipping days or making excuses. Even 5 minutes of focused affirmation practice done every single day without exception will produce far better results than an hour of affirmations done sporadically whenever you happen to remember or feel like it. Your subconscious mind responds to rhythm and regularity, and when you establish a consistent practice, you train your subconscious mind to expect its daily programming session and to be receptive and ready to accept new instructions at that appointed time. A woman said to Dr. Joseph Murphy that she was too busy to do affirmations every day because her schedule was unpredictable and chaotic. And Dr. Joseph Murphy told her that if she was too busy to spend 5 minutes directing her subconscious mind, then she was too busy to succeed at anything, because everything in her life flowed from her subconscious mind, and without proper direction it would simply create more chaos and busyness. He challenged her to commit to just 5 minutes every morning before she got out of bed, and she agreed to try this, and within 1 week, she noticed that her days became less chaotic and more productive, and within 1 month her entire life had become more organized and harmonious, and she actually had more free time than she had before because her subconscious mind was now helping her to work more efficiently and to eliminate unnecessary activities. Your subconscious mind has infinite patience and will continue working on your desires for as long as you continue to impress them upon it with faith and feeling. And this is why you must never set arbitrary deadlines or time limits on your manifestations, because doing so creates pressure and anxiety that interfere with the natural creative process. When you say to yourself, "I must have this result by next month or else," you are actually programming failure into your subconscious mind, because you are implying that there is an or else scenario, which means you do not truly believe that your desire must manifest. Your subconscious mind works according to spiritual law and not according to calendar dates, and it brings your desires into manifestation at the perfect time, when all conditions are aligned and when you are mentally and emotionally prepared to receive what you have asked for. Sometimes this happens very quickly within days or weeks, and sometimes it takes longer because there are lessons you need to learn or preparations that need to be made or other people and circumstances that need to come into alignment, and you must trust the wisdom of your subconscious mind and the divine intelligence that works through it to know the perfect timing better than your conscious mind knows. The more you can release your attachment to specific timing and simply maintain your affirmations with steady faith day after day, the more easily and harmoniously your desires will manifest, and often they will manifest much sooner than you expected once you stop pressuring yourself with deadlines. If you have been affirming something for what seems like a long time with no apparent results, this does not mean that nothing is happening. It means that your subconscious mind is working beneath the surface, making arrangements and adjustments that are not yet visible. And if you abandon your affirmations now, you will waste all the accumulation you have built up and will have to start over from the beginning. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had been affirming a specific income goal for 6 months, and he had decided that if it did not manifest within the next 2 weeks, he would give up and conclude that the law did not work for him, and Dr. Joseph Murphy told him that he was sabotaging himself with this ultimatum, and that his lack of faith in the timing was the very thing preventing his manifestation. Dr. Joseph Murphy counseled him to remove the deadline and to simply continue his affirmations with patient faith, knowing that his good would come at the perfect time, and the man agreed to do this. And interestingly, his income goal manifested less than 1 month later, after he had released the pressure and the deadline he had placed on himself. The final secret of making your subconscious mind obey you is to understand that obedience does not mean forcing or controlling, but rather it means aligning your conscious desires with the deeper wisdom of your subconscious mind and allowing that wisdom to express itself through you in ways that serve your highest good and the highest good of all. Your subconscious mind is not a slave that you command through force of will. It is a partner and a guide that responds to your faith and your love and your clear intention. And when you learn to communicate with it properly, it will serve you faithfully and bring you everything you need to fulfill your purpose and to live a life of joy and abundance and contribution. The greatest practitioners of mental science are those who have learned to surrender their small personal desires to the infinite wisdom within them and to trust that what comes to them through their subconscious mind will always be better. than what they could have planned with their limited, conscious understanding. When you reach this level of mastery, you no longer struggle or strive or worry. You simply state your desire clearly to your subconscious mind with faith and gratitude. You follow the guidance that comes to you through intuition and opportunity, and you watch with wonder and appreciation as your life unfolds in ways more beautiful and more abundant than you ever imagined possible. This is the promise that is available to every person who learns to speak to their subconscious mind in the language of faith and feeling and positive expectation. And this is the inheritance that is yours by divine right as a spiritual being, having a human experience in this magnificent universe of infinite possibilities. Dr. Joseph Murphy spent his entire life teaching these principles to people from all walks of life and all backgrounds and all levels of education. And he witnessed thousands upon thousands of miraculous transformations in people who learned to apply these simple truths with dedication and faith. And his message to you is the same message he gave to everyone he taught, which is that you have within you right now in this present moment all the power you need to transform your life completely and to become the person you were created to be and to experience all the good that life has to offer. And all you must do is begin today to speak to your subconscious mind with clarity and conviction and trust, and your subconscious mind will do the rest.